Yes, ladies and gentlemen. This big game is going to be happening tomorrow. We're going to have Arsenal versus Man City. We're going to be headed away to the Etihad Stadium to face the four-time Premier League champions. I almost said five times. God forbid. We do not want that. It's going to be attack versus defense. It's going to be a six-pointer for the title race, and who is going to win it. We're going to have to discuss that plus more. I'm going to have Deo and Martin joining me in a second. But before we go any further, I just wanted to let you guys know I had a couple guests come on via video call. But before we do that, Martin's in the building. We got Deo in the building. Hope you guys are doing well. But I'm gonna play you guys the video from Hamza to start off before anything else. But Deo, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Martin, you in the building?
Yeah, I'll go, mate.
All right, let's start off with Hamza's video. Let's go.
Yes, guys, come on. Hamza here, City fan here, and we're here live from Nairobi. Look at this beautiful of Nairobi. We're here live. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to those YouTube shows to talk to these Arsenal fans, but you know, everyone is supporting Man City except United fans and Arsenal fans. We know the reason why everyone despises Arsenal fans because they haven't won anything in 20 years, nothing major. They've never won a UCL. They've not won a Premier League in how many years? How can they talk like that? You should have some shame and class when you approach a big club like Manchester City, a big club, a club that's come from rags to riches and now dominating the powerful force of the Premier League. We are the guys. We are the Premier League champions. We are the greatest Premier League team of all time. Pep Guardiola is the greatest manager of all time. Kevin De Bruyne is amongst the best players the world has ever seen. He sits down to me with the likes of Xavi, Iniesta, Zidane. No doubt about it. Forget this Steven Gerrard and Scholes, whatever it is. These guys, KDB, you will never get a player like that. Erling Haaland is the best striker in the world. He is a top striker. What does a striker do? Score goals. But he doesn't need to score goals every single time because it's a team sport. Tomorrow is the game against Manchester City versus Arsenal. Arsenal coming to Etihad. And we've seen before. We've seen years. When they come there, they're scared. Their fans are scared. They're frightened. When you don't have anything to gain, you are scared, you're frightened. We've thumped you 5-0. We've shamed you up. They've never beaten us in how many years? I've gone every season I go to Man City, Arsenal, except this time I had the ticket, but unfortunately Pep Guardiola and Sheikh Mansour said, Hamza, go and enjoy Nairobi, go and enjoy Mombasa, go and relax. We know what's going to happen. Manchester City are a team with absolute major force there. We know we've achieved everything. It's pressure on Arsenal. Pressure on a club, a manager that spent 800 million, 7 to 800 million, has no shame. You look at their fan base. You draw into Atlanta and they come there as if it's victorious. Tomorrow is your day. Tomorrow is your day. Tomorrow. Don't do what you did last season. You parked the bus and celebrated. At the end of the season, what happened? You lost the league title. How many years will Saliba stay winning nothing? Bukayo Saka's never won a Premier League. All you guys are absolutely penniless without a Premier League. It's only our ex-players that have got the Premier League. So tomorrow, I'll be there. I would have arrived just on time to make to the game probably, but I will not be at game. But good luck to Man City. You are a beautiful football club. You are loved in this African continent. He has opened my eyes how we're loved. And the whole of Africa, the whole of Europe, the whole of Asia, the whole of South America are supporting you because the world loves you. Well, you've opened our eyes. Arsenal, go and get United fans to support you. Have some shame and some class. You have nothing other than Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira. We're invincible. You've got the same trophy as Invincible. You get one trophy, the same trophy as us. And tomorrow, we will see. Mikel Arteta will pack the bus. I promise you. And if he packs the bus, we're cooking you. Don't pack the bus. Come out. Muhammad Ali used to punch it and used to talk, and then he would punch you and knock you out. Don't come all this and then you, I'm gonna sit there, I'm holding, hold on, and then you're gonna jab someone, inshallah, I hope that it's gonna get him. No. Do it. Come out. Come out tomorrow, Mikel Arteta's army. Come out. We'll see tomorrow. Big up everyone here. Tomorrow, don't forget, City versus Arsenal. You're all on our side. Stop.
He said all of that. He didn't even give us a goddamn prediction. He just said they're gonna win. He didn't say score. He didn't say nothing. And you know what? Martin's a lot more level-headed, so you don't have to worry about that. But there's still one more person we need to mention before we go any further. There's Patrick, and he also had a little bit of a preview that he had to say to us.
So Arsenal versus Man City. Here we go again. These are the two teams that finished first and second last season. Arsenal last season did well. They took 4 points away from Man City. So it was actually very good for them because most of the times Man City usually takes 6 points from them or we draw them, we beat them. I don't know, but we beat them most of the times. I think we had a record where we've beaten them so many times. And you know yourself, KDB always performs, but apparently KDB is not going to be fit, I think, for this game. For Arsenal, I think Martin Odegaard. So Martin Odegaard and KDB will be missing from this game, which could potentially mean most of the creativity. It's not going to be there because these are the two most important players and very creative players in these two teams. But how do I see this one going? I don't know. I have been watching Arsenal for the past few games. It looks like they are parking the bus a lot. Arteta has started playing a football that's very defensive, very difficult to beat. It is what it is. Maybe that's what he wants to play. I liked that other Arsenal from 2 seasons ago where they were very, very attacking and they were playing this one-touch football. But right now, when I was watching the game, Arsenal versus Atalanta, they seemed like they sat back trying to win on counters. I don't know if he's going to do that. I started seeing him resting players in the Atlanta game. So basically, I saw Partey coming off, then I saw Saka coming off. So he was preparing, obviously, for tomorrow's game. But tomorrow's game, I don't know.
Martin, is that true? The Champions League, you guys were basically preparing for our game.
Not really. We played a strong 11. So yeah.
He was talking about Mikel Arteta. He said Arteta was resting players for the game against them. That he took out.
I don't think he did that.
I know, but that's his opinion based on the changes that we made. He thinks that that's what it is, but he didn't realize that because if you really watch the game, Partey wasn't performing, which is why we swapped him out, which is why he was subbed. Saka was already getting tired, and we needed him, of course, to rest as well. And so he was also subbed out. So he might think it's because of preparing for it. And of course, even if that's the reason, why not? That's a fair reason to rest your players. Man City is a big game away. You're not going to be silly and say, well, Saka, play 90 minutes. If it goes to 120, play it, and then play again on Sunday. Like, that is bad player management. So when a manager makes the right moves and then fans make it seem like he's being afraid or something, I'm just like, what are you talking about here? Resting your best players for a game that you think is really important is the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do on all levels.
Let's continue, though. Just finish it off for us.
Play Savinho and Doku. Why I'm playing Savinho and Doku is if Arsenal decide to lock up and try to counter us, Savinho and Doku can be able to dribble past them and lock in. But I know Pep might play Grealish, but anyway, I would prefer Savinho and Doku, and obviously Haaland up front. So my prediction for this game, I think 3-1. I think it'll be 1-1 for a while, and then City will score the other 2 goals. I see Haaland scoring 2 goals in this game. I know a lot of Arsenal fans have been making fun of Haaland, saying he hasn't scored, but against you guys for a long time, but he will score. He will score. So that's my preview for the game. See you tomorrow, guys.
Wait, what did he say his score prediction was?
He said 3-1. He said 3-1. He thinks that it'll be 1-1 for a while.
He hasn't scored, but against you guys for a long time, but he will score. He will score. So that's my preview for the game. See you tomorrow.
When did he say 3-1?
He did. He said, I predict 3-1. Take it back. He said 3-1. It'll be 1-1 for a while, and I think City will come back and score 2 goals.
And obviously Haaland up front. So my prediction for this game, I think 3-1. I think
There you go. There you go. There you go. And you know what? Hamza didn't give a score prediction. Didn't give. But you know, first things first. Do you guys consider this a 6-pointer? Because I do. I consider this a 6-pointer. And if it's us 2 for the title, if either one of us win this game, we're taking 3 points off our opponent, and we're getting 3 points. It's 6 points. It's not a 3-point represent. It's not 3 points. It's 6. It's the equivalent of a relegation battle. 2 relegation battle teams. The same thing for a title race. Even though it's in September, I still view it as a 6-pointer. I view this as we can't afford to lose to City. But at the same time, we can't. But at the same time, if we win, we put ourselves in a decent advantage.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, I guess you want to see it as a 6-pointer, but it's not. It's still 3 points, regardless of what you look at. It's just 3 points off City, because because if they come to the Emirates in the second half of the season and then they do a number on us and they tie the game or they beat us, then what are we talking about? Is that 6 points? But it's not. So for me, it's like at this stage, I think the way I kind of feel about this game is we have come of age. Arsenal needs to not make excuses anymore. Mikel Arteta cannot afford to make any mistakes or any excuses. You work with what you have. You go to the Etihad, a place where it has been tough for you for a very long time. And last year, you found a way to defend against them last year. Now, what you want to do is replicate that same type of defense as strongly as possible, but also find a way to put the ball in the back of the net one time, which means work, lean on your strengths and then try and exploit their weaknesses. City this season have looked amazing, but they've conceded goals.
We're going to talk about that. I just want to stay on this topic quickly. Martin, do you agree with Deo? It's too early to be calling anything a 6-pointer?
Yeah. You may be a 6-pointer, I don't. Listen, if Arsenal win, they go a point ahead. If City win, they go, was it 4 clear?
That's why I'm saying
it's more important for you. I do think you don't. It's more important for you than it is for us. In terms of no, and I don't mean that in a way of I'm talking about because we only go a point behind. You lose, we go 4 ahead. There's a different swing in that one. A point is a lot different to 4 points ago.
More important to Arsenal. That's why
it would be more of an issue for you losing than it would be for us. It would be a psychological blow to us.
That's massive because the psychological boost it would give to Arsenal also. Wow.
Well, yeah, you'd be the first team in 2 years to beat us at the Etihad.
Sorry?
You'd be the first team in nearly 2 years to beat us at the Etihad.
No one's beaten you at the Etihad? I swear.
We haven't lost at the Etihad in like 18
We haven't lost since November 2022.
How many games unbeaten?
That's a lot of things.
We haven't lost since the 6th of December last year.
Crazy. You guys are on damn near 30 plus games or something?
Mm-hmm. In the league, yeah.
That's crazy. I know the Invincibles and Chelsea hold the record, I think, 44 something wins at home over 2 years where they never lost. And half of those games they barely conceded. But somebody here is saying, we're not talking about Saka comparisons today. But let's talk about tactics. You played in the Champions League. Are you expecting a similar performance from Arsenal to Inter? Or are you a little bit like, you know what, Arsenal's going to play a little bit more attacking? What do you think, Martin, going into this game? What are your thoughts about this game?
I personally think you've got to try and be more attacking. And it's not, come out and play, to fall into the City trap. Nothing to do with that. I'll be straight with you now. Teams who attack us get more joy than teams who sit back. You look at Brentford, first 20 minutes they came out from the races. Should have been 2 or 3 up. Ipswich came out and attacked us straight away. Inter Milan, there's this philosophy going that Inter Milan parked the bus up. Go back and watch the game. The first 5 minutes Inter Milan could have scored. Because I think his City aren't used to teams coming at them. They're very used to a team parking up. We get that week in, week out. We've had that for 2 years. We know how to break that down. I know everyone's going about Haaland. This is not the same Haaland as last season. Haaland was playing with foot injury last year with painkilling injections in his foot. This is a very, very different Haaland. It's a little bit of a different Manchester City right now. I find it very weird because Arsenal last season played the best football for me in the whole league. And City were a bit more pragmatic. I feel as though we've swapped over this year. Don't know why. Don't understand why. I think Arteta's got a bit more pragmatic. Even going back to the opening Villa game, Villa could have been 2 up. Ollie Watkins has took his chance. I think City have gone a bit more wing play in certain. We've gone a little bit more because the fans are demanding. Let's go with this out and out basketball football. I personally don't think the basketball football suits City. I really don't. I think we've got a little bit of a soft underbelly to play that sort of game. But it is what it is. For me, I think if Arsenal go tomorrow and just defend for 90 minutes, I don't think you will win. I think you're then hoping on set pieces. But set pieces, we've been very strong on defending. Ruben Diaz headed everything away into Milan threw at us in the air on Wednesday night. He was like a man monster. Just headed everything away. I mean, you'll get onto it in a bit. Personally, everyone's presuming Arteta's going to go there and park the bus. Arteta's not a stupid man. Arteta knows at some point I have to win at the Etihad. The same way you go back 20 years ago, you had to win. When you won your title, you had to go to Old Trafford and get that win. When you played Carnew and Wiltord. Sometimes you've got to gamble. Sometimes you've got to do it. Because, and this isn't a dig, I think Arsenal are more probable of dropping a point, silliness somewhere, than City are at the moment. Though that might change during the season. Yeah. Well, you've already done it against Brighton. You've already done it against Brighton, Igal.
I think you guys have. I think you guys have a glaring.
We did it against Brighton. We did it against Brighton. Put context to them to
10 men.
Brighton with 10 men.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the context. It's happened.
Martin. My point is, and the goal also came literally like 2 minutes after the red card was issued. They're trying to restructure themselves. No excuses. I'm not saying the red card is right or wrong. I'm not blaming that. I'm saying in any situation where you're 10 men down, when you're a man down, it changes the dynamics of the game. And the fact that Brighton
the
fact that Brighton could not capitalize on a 10-man Arsenal and beat us finally, like literally go and beat us 2-1 or 3-1 with all the, with one man down, still says a lot about.
I don't know the last time I've seen City go down to 10 men.
We
against Notts Forest at home, we lost Rodri in the 47th minute.
Did
you go on to win that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's against Forest. So, again, I'm saying context is why I like to put context around things, because it's easy to say, oh, well, yeah. Maybe it's football. Anybody can drop points at any time. Nobody would imagine that we would want to go there and park the bus. I think that would be silly. I think last year we were able to figure out how to defend against City by parking the bus. We now know how to defend against City. We played 3 games against you last season. You didn't win 1 against us. This is the same Pep Guardiola.
Stop throwing the Community Shield out.
No. Like all of them. We met 3 times. No, the thing is, it builds confidence.
We met 3 times.
Martin, does it not build confidence for you as a?
No. I take no notice of the Community Shield. I didn't even celebrate it when we won it this year, Dio. I'm not asked about it.
I'm not talking about the winning the Community Shield. That's what I'm talking about. As a team, I go against a team that has been beating me for years, and somehow
say why I disagree with that, Dio. Somehow it's not the same 11. It's not the strongest 11, Dio.
It wasn't our strongest 11. We had Eddie Nketiah.
Exactly. So exactly, that's my whole point.
But my point is, we found a way to not lose. That is a big boost for a team that.
Also, we play. Okay, even if you say 2 games, we played 2 games last season. You didn't score a goal.
You didn't score a goal.
I think Arsenal, if we neutralize Erling Haaland, we neutralize your whole attack.
Outside Erling Haaland,
that's absolutely Igal. That's fine. See, I'm loving this. Neutralize Haaland. You think we're a one-man team? You think we're a one-man team, Igal?
No. Based on the statistics this season, early in the season, obviously. You guys have
been 4 games.
You guys have really leaned on Erling Haaland, and outside of Erling Haaland, you have 3 goals. So I think
I'm going to go contacts. No Rodri, no Foden. You got to start looking in the context of all of this.
So we can put context when it comes to this now.
So Rodri and Foden are going to be there on Sunday.
Yes.
Will Kevin De Bruyne be there?
He'll probably be on the bench. I don't think he starts.
Okay. Once again, I'm asking you the same question. If Erling Haaland is not scoring the goals, you're saying Rodri and Foden are going to score the goals.
Well, Rodri got 24 GNA last year, 24, 22, something like that. Foden had his best season scoring wise, why he won the PFA Player of the Year.
No, the only reason why I'm saying I think Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba are well equipped to be able to stop.
What you're doing is you're pinning players to do one thing. That's not how this game is going to be won. It's going to be won with team effort. If you're saying, is it going to be Roger? It's going to be this. Like, look, anybody can score from City and anybody from Arsenal can score. We do that. Our defense contributed 15 goals last season. right? Our defenders contributed 15 goals. There were games that Arsenal had all 10 outfield players who had a shot on target last season against other teams, not against Man City. So with this Man City team, it's about how we go as a team. And that's where I am confident that Mikel Arteta haven't learned how to defend against Man City last season, haven't understood, okay, well, now we know how to defend. We would have won that game last season at the Etihad. There were chances that we created where if Trossard had squared that ball one time, we never know. And we may have scored it, we may not have scored it. We may have skied the ball up into the stands or hit the bar or whatever. But the point is, we were able to defend deep and break them down. This time around, we might not need to defend that deep. It could be a mid block, it could be anything. But the point is, we're stronger where we were strongest last season, which is our defense. We've added to our defense, which is where we were strongest last season. And I think if we lean on our defense and use the other methods we know how to use to get goals in the back of the net, I think we do a good job. I think we go there and we steal a 1-0 win and run the heck out of there.
I'm just asking Martin, if we stop Erling Haaland, don't your chances of winning this game go significantly down the drain?
No. Significantly down the drain, no chance.
Okay, so you're saying if we stop Erling Haaland, you still have many different threats.
Yeah, you've now got Phil Foden. Phil Foden has not played in the first 4 games.
Phil Foden hasn't scored against us in 2 years.
What are you throwing me that stat for?
I'm just saying that's another player I think we'll be able to neutralize. I think Phil Foden and Haaland, I'm not too concerned. My main thing is, Martin.
Sorry, you're not too concerned about them?
No, because I trust my defense so much. Martin, the title of the video is the best defense versus the best attack. You have the best attack, but I think the defense wins out.
But you're talking like we're some sort of one-man team here, Miguel.
No. You have the best attack for a reason. You still have.
You just said you stop Haaland, you stop Salah.
Yeah, because Kevin De Bruyne is injured. Foden hasn't played yet for majority of the season, and let's be honest, Doku and Savinho don't look like they're producing much end product yet so far this season. Also,
Savinho's got 2 assists already.
But yeah, we'll see what he.
But hang on a minute. You've not got your main creator tomorrow.
Who? Martin Odegaard.
Yeah,
but the thing is, the way that we're playing this game, Martin Odegaard, as much as he's amazing to hold on to the possession and he's going to be a big miss, I still think we can get a result without him there. He's one of our main triggers to the press and everything else. He's an important piece to our puzzle. But our defense.
So who's going to create for you tomorrow? Well, between me and you, let's be straight.
I think
Bukayo Saka goes missing at the Etihad. He's gone missing at the Etihad for 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So Martin, hold on. So we can say the same for Foden when he plays Arsenal. Then he plays.
You can say the same for Haaland the last 2 years. Last 3 games.
You say Bukayo Saka has gone.
Should we talk about the Haaland taking his headband out, swaying his star hair around in the air, and putting the ball?
Are we talking about?
Come on, Igal, you're being very disingenuous and slightly.
No, but Martin, this is how we feel.
Playing this Haaland card.
Martin, I'm telling you how we feel.
For what reason?
Nobody's playing Haaland down. What you're missing is you're saying
no. You're playing the City team down without Haaland.
No, this is how we feel going into this game.
You asked how he feels, and he said,
well, that's fine. If you want to come across that arrogant in one game of this Haaland stuff,
in my defense,
but you've got nothing up front,
bro.
You've shown that.
My whole point is your team is better offensively than us. Our team is better defensively. Don't think just because.
So what you're saying is it's going to be 0-0 tomorrow.
No.
You should just all take 0-0 now and give up.
1 second. Just because it's not going to be a high-scoring game where Man City are more in favor. If the game is a high-scoring game, you're more in favor to win because you are more capable of scoring more goals than we are. If we keep the games close, we have a much better chance of winning and nicking a win than you guys if you guys run up the score. Because we're not going to go goal for goal with you. That's where we're going to start. That's where we could get stuck with our creativity lacking. That's where we could get stuck with the lack of goals that we have in our squad so far this season. Where you guys have a lot of goals, but let's be honest, defensively, you can get got at. You said to me yourself, when teams go at you, you can get got at. And I think on the counter.
But you're not going to come at us.
I think one second.
But
We don't
Ertan,
have to. We don't have to come at you for 90 minutes. We can come at you in spurts.
You got pause. You made a statement earlier, Martin, in the stream. You said Arteta is not a fool. People think he might want to come and park the bus. What did you mean by that? That was you saying Arteta probably will decide not to park the bus because
I think at some point Arteta's got to realise I have to win here
you said
to
that.
win the title.
Exactly. So if he does that in the first 20, 30 minutes, and you said you can be got at, and we have a better defense than you, but we go at you and we get one goal, and then we park the bus.
But Niall, I'm being told he won't do that.
I don't know. It's not about what we're being. See, my question is nobody's going to read his mind and say what he's going to do or what he's not going to do.
I'll be straight with you. I've listened to previews all week. City fans seem to have more confidence in your team than attacking wise than some of your own fans do.
So
no, but at the same time, Arsenal fans are not as fearful as City fans right now. City fans are more fearful.
Fearful?
Yeah.
What?
City
so,
fans
Igal, if you think we're scared of you tomorrow, behave, Igal. Behave.
No. Martin, in context of previous seasons going to the Etihad, you guys were not as concerned as us as you would be now.
Igal, let's address the Arsenal side. Don't address how City feel because you don't know how they feel. Let's be realistic about it.
Fair enough. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, City can turn around and say they're not afraid or they're not worried or whatever. They can say they'll beat us 6-0, 10-0, whatever it is. The point is, I realized over the last 2 years that 3 years ago, going to the Etihad, Arsenal fans were pissing ourselves like, oh my God, what is this? We're going to lose. 2 years ago, it was like, maybe we can try. Lose a game here, draw a game here. Last year, and this is why I was giving that analogy, and Martin, you threw me off course by talking about the Community Shield. I don't care what tournament I play you in. If I play a team that is better than me, or I fight somebody who's better than me, because let me use me. I did judo. If I fight a fighter who has beaten me for 10 years, and then I fight him in 1 year 3 times, and he doesn't beat me, and I win on technicalities and on points, I ask myself, maybe now I know a way to beat this person. It gives me a confidence. So I think Arsenal is coming into this game with a lot more confidence than they've ever had before. That's the big difference now. Things like, before where we're like, if we go to the Etihad, it was a massacre. We're going to lose 3-1. And this happened 2 seasons ago. We were flying high. We were playing very well. We were beating people. We were 8 points ahead. We go to the Etihad. What happened? They whooped us 3-1. Boom, real quick. And when we were able to overcome that type of a dilemma for Arsenal now last season, I think this season Arsenal team goes in with a bit more confidence, a little more experience, also knowing exactly how to defend against City and maybe how to now score the goal that we probably missed last season. And maybe. So for me, I'm not even afraid going to the Etihad anymore. You're an amazing, solid team. You have to pay respect to who respect is due. But those days of, I'm going to Etihad, I'm going to, they're going to beat me 3-1. No. If this Arsenal team looks more resolute.
Oh, yo, 1 second.
Arsenal team is more resolute than ever.
Mark said, send me the link, bro. I will come on. I appreciate you, Mark, but unfortunately, this is going to be a short video. We literally only have like another 20 minutes before we wrap up. So I'm sorry. I'll bring you on next time after the City match on Monday, hopefully. But I apologize, brother. Martin, just give me your feelings going into the game, because I'm telling you my feelings and you feel like we're being arrogant, we're being dismissive, but that's how I feel going into the game. Maybe not all Arsenal fans, but I feel like a large majority of Arsenal fans, I feel like, would feel a lot more confident going into this game than ever before. There's not that fear factor that we had before. There's not that looking over saying, oh my God, it's Kevin De Bruyne, it's Erling Haaland. How are we going to stop these guys? I'm going into this game knowing that at least we have a chance to come out of there with something, where before I knew the chances of us losing were much higher than us coming out with something.
That's fine. Listen, you can feel how you want to feel, Igal. But when I've seen Real Madrid come to the Etihad and be fearful of City, change their whole philosophy around. Ancelotti's words. Real Madrid, park the bus up, because the only way they could beat us was going into a penalty shootout. That's where I get a little bit. You're not. Listen, if you've got no fear, that's up to you. But like I've said, no disrespect, bigger teams have been to the Etihad and had fear.
Yeah,
probably the biggest team in the world.
Real Madrid, deservedly so. They were at that time, if I'm not mistaken, they had a lead to try to hold on to.
Sorry, Igal, I just want to address
It was a draw. It was a draw, Igal.
Can you
Okay,
tell, Martin? Can you tell your fans in the comments? I know you're not in charge of them, but there's no need to be cursing people out and using abusive words.
No, like I said, remain respectful. I think this is what I mean, Igal. City fans will get. It is coming across a little bit disrespectful.
No,
you're not playing against Accrington. No, hang on a minute, Dale. You've asked me a question. You're not playing Accrington Stanley. You're coming to a team that I've not lost in nearly 2 years.
Nobody's sitting here, Martin. Nobody's sitting here saying we're coming to batter you. Nobody's sitting here saying
we're not afraid of coming to the Etihad anymore. Do you want? So there's a big difference, Martin, right? When somebody says
no, Dale, you said that. Igal, you started off saying without heart, you stop Haaland, you stop Setter. And your words were
my words.
And you said your words were to go. We're more scared tomorrow.
No, I'm saying based on my. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said.
That's what's riled everyone up. It was the City scared of Arsenal.
Martin, to be fair, I don't know your feelings, so I shouldn't have said that. But as for the Erling Haaland point, I stand on that. I think outside of Erling Haaland this season,
you're looking at that. Yeah, but it's been 4 games ago.
I understand.
You're giving a very small sample size out.
I understand, but then I go back to the games that we played last season, and we stopped Erling Haaland. You guys,
but it's not the same City. It's not the same Haaland, Igal.
Igal, I agree with him. It's a small sample size.
No, but my main point is if you stop Erling Haaland, you have an exponential chance of winning this game.
Igal, pause first. Igal, pause. He's saying it's a different season. It's 4 games. It's a small sample size. Can we say the same for Arsenal? That the way Arsenal is playing right now is not how.
Yeah, Dio, I've not even been able to say anything about Arsenal at the minute.
That's all. Yeah, that's
with all due respect.
That's all I've been saying.
Honestly, it's because of how we feel. Martin, we feel very confident.
No, and that's fine. I'm not saying you have to come shaking in your boots into the Etihad, but it's there are some. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've seen Arsenal fans say, "I put 400 quid on coming to the Etihad, smacking you 4-1." I'm like, what is this?
Crazy.
What is this? No, honestly, I've had them in my chat all week that they're coming to slap us up at the Etihad like some sort of meat grinder. My point is, Igal, I understand the confidence. No, I understand, Igal. You are very confident. I get it. You're backing your team. You're backing everything else.
And Igal, see, can I say this, Martin? I hear you. I think you and I think Martin, I think you and I are on the same page as regards to like our teams. I won't speak for City and how City feels about this game, but I can speak for Arsenal the way I feel like we feel, because we feel a lot more confident. And if there's any fans out there who think that because Arsenal is confident of going to the Etihad and no longer afraid to go to the Etihad, we're not saying City is a terrible team. No, City is the best team right now in the league, but I'm not afraid to go play them like I used to be. If that is coming across to you as disrespectful, that tells me how much fearful you are of Arsenal. Because the bottom line is, if you do not fear Arsenal at all, if I say I'm confident coming to the Etihad, you should be like, yeah, show up and let me come and let me just beat you up. You can't be like, I'm being disrespectful for me being confident. My confidence is for
that's right.
Your stadium is for you. You defend your stuff, like so. No, not you, Steve. Not you, Steve. I'm sorry, not you, Martin. Sorry, not you, Martin. It's people making all these silly comments. I'm just like, yeah.
All right.
That's it.
1 second. Let me hear from Martin quickly. Martin, what team do you think you're going to go with tomorrow? Because there's lineups that are being thrown around, and this is the lineup that's being thrown around right now. Would you play Grealish over Doku? Would you play Bernardo Silva over Savio? Would you play this team that City have out here on FootMob?
For me, my lineup's been the same all week. I don't even think he'll go with it. But I'm just giving my personal lineup. I'll go Edison, Rico Lewis, Akanji, Diaz, Gabardio, Rodri, Bernardo, Foden, Jack Grealish on the left, Doku on the right, Haaland up front.
Okay, so
it gives you that mixture between, little bit of a mixture between control and a little bit of chaos. I don't want to go all out chaos.
So in this
I've
team,
took Savio out. I've took Savio out, and I'm not putting Gundogan in.
Okay,
because I need to get Bernardo Silva in. I need to get Bernardo in.
Okay, so Bernardo and Foden are in the middle. Gundogan is out. Doku is on the right.
Yeah.
Okay. For Arsenal, Deo, do you think this is the team that we're going to go with? Deo, are you there? Oh shit!
I think he's just examining the team.
Go ahead.
Backstage, yeah. I think rightly, this is probably the team we're going to go with in the first half and see.
Havertz going to be up top. Trossard's going to be in the 10.
I mean, this is how they kind of put them on paper, but then we see them move around and change positions as usual. So yeah, So we'll see with this setup. I'm happy with the back line, and I think that first and foremost, like just playing to our strength is what we need to do first, regardless of what happens. And once we do that, yes, we stand a better chance.
Do you know the scary thing is we're all guessing. Everyone's guessing Arsenal are coming to park the bus. Everyone's guessing City will do this. It is. I've noticed a couple of changes in the way we've played over the last, probably even the 4 games. We've changed within these 4 games because we are ever changing. I've even seen Edison the last few games knocking balls 50 yards down the line for Haaland to hold up, which is actually, to be honest with you, Haaland's a much better footballer this year. He is dropping into the midfield. He's holding the ball up. He's turning on his last man. We've also seen games where we've slowed the game down, then we've upped the tempo, and we've played a 20-yard pass straight through the middle. So go back to that West Ham game. You had Erling Haaland sitting on the last man and saying, let's have a foot race. And what you're doing is you're seeing the ball come through 20 yards quick, and Haaland's just onto it, gone.
I have the graphic for that.
It's a real weird one with City. And then there's other games where you've seen against, that's what I mean. This is what we can do.
No disrespect to whoever this West Ham player is. You go shoulder to shoulder with Saliba or Gabriel. They're not getting pushed off the way he did.
But I understand you've got confidence in Gabriel Saliba, and I'll be honest with you, I think they are the 2 best centre-backs in Europe.
I've seen Erling Haaland go shoulder to shoulder with Saliba and fall down. Couldn't hack it.
No, you saw it last season. Season.
Exactly. But the same thing, Martin. We can say this season, Saliba probably is ready for him as well. So last season, yes, I hear you on the Erling Haaland.
So it's going to be a very good battle. That's what, for me, it's going to be a battle between 2 top players.
Yeah, it's going to be a solid battle. But
it's going to be a battle between these 2. And I think it comes down to, this is where the battle is going to be won. Between these 2.
But this is my thing, Gal. This is where I was saying earlier about the Foden and the Rodri factor and the Bernardo. My other thing is, I think City are going to have more options off the bench just because of your injuries at the moment and a little bit of your squad depth. We're going to have more. So City may even go to a point where they go, right, we'll just pass the ball around, we'll tire you out for 70 minutes, and then we bring on a Sabio. See, because and this was what I got off an Arsenal fan last night. Is Ben White looked a little bit shaky for the last couple of games. I don't know if he has or he hasn't. I'm only going off what I was told by an Arsenal fan who goes. So he may do that. This is what I mean. We're all trying to second guess what Arteta and Pep Guardiola are trying to do. Pep may revert back to 2 years ago where we beat you 4-1 and play the 3-box system. So where he goes with a back 3 and puts John Stones in and plays a box to try and get in around. Because to me, I think your midfield, this is the weakest midfield you've turned up with at the Etihad, probably in about a couple of years. So City may think, you know what, we'll exploit that. What we're doing at the moment, we're trying to second guess Pep Guardiola and Arteta, and the problem is those 2 know each other very, very well.
Yeah, but also Martin, I think this is for me, I see it as a conversation between us as fans and how we would think, how I would set them.
Yeah, I know we are. I don't mean that as in we're not going to talk about it.
So I do get where you're coming from, and I agree with you. Like for anybody to sit there and say, "Oh, it's the Etihad we're talking about. This is the tough ground to go and win." But what I am happy about is this is one of the first times in about 3-4 years that I can say, as an Arsenal fan, I'm going to the Etihad and I'm looking forward to the game because I know it's not going to be a pushover game. There were times when I was coming to the Etihad and I just knew it was going to be a pushover. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that this is even City fans knew it. They were like, oh, some City fans wouldn't even watch the game. They'll just wait to hear the scoreline. Now every City fan wants to watch this game because they're not like sitting there thinking we're going to just destroy Arsenal. They know it's a different type of Arsenal that they're meeting. And me being an Arsenal fan, that says a lot for me to say, I know that my team can go there and can steal a point away or steal 3 points. It is not impossible. There's a point where a team is going to eventually have to lose at home. City is not going to go unbeaten at home for the next 70 years. It's not possible, right?
No, of course.
Yes.
You were the team that stopped United.
Yeah, and we were the first team again last season to actually stop you from scoring at home for the first time last season. If you remember, you had scored in every game you played at home until you played us. So it says a lot when a team is on your tail like that, and when they are trying to match you toe for toe, game for game, tactic for tactic. Pep Guardiola is the greatest manager in the recent history of this game, the last 10-15 years. I can say that without any mincing words. But there are other managers who have found a way to get one over him. And if we can go there and do exactly what we need to do, whereby we lean on our strength, which is our defense, counter when we need to counter, and be clinical with our chances. Because we've seen that City is susceptible to those type of mistakes. You did it to Ipswich, to teams that should not be scoring against you. We've seen City be shaky at the back. If we can take our chances, I think we steal 3 points and we run away.
That's why I think the first 15 minutes of this game is crucial. Because if you look at Brentford and you look at Ipswich, they didn't allow City to get into any kind of rhythm, any kind of stride. Now, that's what I mean about Arsenal. I think if Arsenal's best chance for me tomorrow is coming at us for the first 10 minutes. Just have a little go. Have a go while we're cold. Then you can go into whatever formation you then. If you come out and you allow City to dictate from the get-go, that's where I think it becomes a dangerous game. Because yes, and I've said it all week, Saliba and Gabriel for me are the best two defenders package in Europe right now. 100%. What I'm saying is you are completely right on Ipswich and Brentford, but it was the first 15 minutes. Same with Inter Milan. As soon as we got allowed to get into our rhythm, that's when that stopped.
And you're
so
right.
So it's about catching it cold.
Yeah, but you're right, and I agree. But we know that we've seen this Arsenal team that they can do that as well. This same Arsenal team has.
Yeah, it's whether Arsenal do that day. It's whether Arteta is brave enough to do that.
I know, but I won't speak for Arteta. I'm speaking for me. I'm saying that as a fan who knows what the capabilities of his team is, and looking at Man City, that's how I would play against you. I would hit you hard in the very first 20, 30 minutes because I know I have capacity to do that. And
that's what I'd do. Spot on.
Yeah. And I'm more defensively solid. I would hit you on that. And as long as I'm clinical, which is where the key thing is, be clinical in the first 25 minutes, get a goal and park the bus. You're playing
because the worst thing, the worst thing for Arsenal tomorrow, if City get an early goal, that's your game plan gone.
Yeah.
So what happens then? That's my question. What happens if Saliba slips?
You stay
slips, because it can happen.
1 second. I think if you do concede to City, you stay balanced, you stay measured. You don't go gung ho and try to start attacking like crazy. You need to take your chances when they come. I think tomorrow it's going to come down to who is more clinical. We're both going to get low quality chances. We're both going to be facing decent defenses, and we both have good enough attacks that can finish their chances when given good enough chances. We're going to make sure we limit each other to minimal chances. And I think Erling Haaland, our number one goal going into this game is to shut down Erling Haaland. And I think if we do shut down Erling Haaland, I want to see who from the rest of your players that you do have that are capable of stepping up, step up. As for Arsenal, you guys are going to try to take away and neutralize Saka. Let's be honest, that's what you did a year ago when we played you. You neutralized Saka, and you forced us into trying to find other solutions. And we're going to have to find other solutions also. We need to be able to take away each other's best offensive pieces and see who steps up. And if you guys score first, it's going to be difficult for us. We're going to have to chase the game, and we're going to have to find a way to get back into it. We cannot rely on set pieces. We cannot rely on counters at that point.
That's what I mean, Gal. You've got to open up that little bit more then. And that's where City will try and pick the space.
I'm hopeful that the game is going to go. I think it's going to be 0-0 going into second half, and the changes are Arteta's going to probably be. Arteta's probably not going to make changes going into second half. You guys are probably going to make changes because you have substitutes off the bench. And to be fair, before when you had guys like Riyad Mahrez coming off the bench, when you had friggin' what do you call it? What's Nick Martinez, right? No, not Martinez. It was
Alvarez.
Julian Alvarez, Sterling, all these guys who were coming that you had off your bench. They scared me more than Doku and Savinho. Doku and Savinho, I haven't seen enough from them to say that they're very, very productive in the final third. It seems like they lack end product at times. But we'll have
So
to.
Savinho's been very good since he started. He's already got assists. The Savinho seems to have got the City way already, but I think that's because he's come from Girona. He's come from a City CFG club. If you look at the CFG clubs, they all play very similar football. They all played the same philosophy. So when they come into City, it's an easy process. Doku, I agree. I think Doku's got 95% of his game spot on. I think he's got to get that final 5%, but he's still 22. He's young. He's going to learn that as he's going along.
Martin, I am more afraid of Savinho than I am of Doku, and I'll tell you why. And I'll tell 100%. You why I'll tell you that, because I've seen
and Jack Grealish also.
Just hold on, Nigel. I'm coming. I'm going
to Savinho over Jack Grealish.
I've seen a bit of Doku to know, like, if I were a manager, to say, okay, this is how we want to defend against Doku. I've not seen enough of Savinho. I don't know what else he has in his bag of tricks, and I've seen that he looks really good in the first few games he's played. That's a player that I would be more afraid of as a manager, because I haven't seen enough of him to be able to say, look, this is how I'm going to, set up against this guy when he comes against me. Do I double up on him? Do I triple up on him? Like, what do I do at this point? Do I leave space and have two people go mark him? So I think Savinho for me is a player that we need to watch out for in the game tomorrow, because he's more of a player that is an unknown to us, but we know he's very, very good. He's unknown.
Do you know why I've chosen Jack? The reason I've got Jack over Sabio is because Josko Gabardio likes to bench a forward. He doesn't just stay as a traditional left back. He likes to have a little go. And Doku, as you know, likes to go. That will worry Pep. From a Pep Guardiola viewpoint, he's not going to allow Bukayo Saka the freedom of that right-hand side, because you've got Gabardio and Doku just both gone, and Saka just comes the other way. It's why Ake it's generally Ake who plays against Saka. And Ake, because Ake is very disciplined, he stays as the left back. He doesn't move. So that's why I'm playing Grealish, is because Grealish will track back. This is the thing that I've had this debate with City fans all day long. Pepe's never going to go balls out wing, because he hates losing the ball on the recycle. Will not, because he's very famous saying he once said, if you are going to play that way, you have to score in that moment. Because if you don't score in that moment, you give up possession, the ball turns over, and you're all caught out of possession, and they counter on you quick. And that's the one thing. You look at Sterling, you look at Sane, you look at all these top dynamic wingers we had. There was one reason they were all sold, because they didn't like the working back part. They didn't want to do it. It was Sterling hated it. Sane didn't want to know it.
That's why Grealish is going to start.
Yeah, for me, and that's why I think you'll get the combination of the two. Chaos on one side, control on the other. You're going to have a fit Phil Foden, who literally has played 45 minutes all season. And you said about Haaland, it wasn't even Haaland missing the chances on Wednesday night. It was Gundogan. It was Foden. Because Jack Grealish could have had 3 assists on Wednesday if Foden hadn't just smacked the ball straight at the keeper. If that ball from Doku had fallen to Haaland instead of Gundogan on a diving header. So it wasn't really a Haaland thing. It was more of we were just missing chances. But for me, and then you've got the KDB factor. Is he fit? I don't know. Nobody knows at the moment. But if you've got a KDB who can come off the bench, different prospect. You've got a Gundogan come off the bench, a Kovacic can come off the bench. That the thing City have got tomorrow, we've got a lot of depth.
KDB not being there to start is probably our biggest boost, because that guy kills us. Out of all your players, KDB is one guy who kills us.
Yeah. But
I'm happy.
Phil Foden's not a bad backup.
I'm happy to see he's not super injured.
He's not a bad.
If he's not starting, it benefits us massively.
But also, us not having Odegaard is a big is also a big hit
it's a big miss.
because it allows us to not play the way we normally would want to play, which is like initially like hitting you on the fast paced in the first 20 minutes, because we don't have that creative person to actually just release Havertz and Martinelli or Trossard, whoever it is that we're playing. But we'll see what
We're
happens.
gonna have to wrap it up here. But before we
to
wrap
be honest,
it up, I
well,
need your score predictions before we wrap it up.
I think there's a goal either way. I don't see it being a high scoring game. You're looking at a 1-0 or a 2-1. You're looking at a very close cage again tomorrow.
Yeah. What are you saying? Score prediction and how it happens.
I think it's 1-0. I think Arsenal scores a goal first. City will press us throughout the entire game. Mr. Etihad. We will lean on our defense and we will park the bus and we will go home with 3 points. I think that's what's going to happen. And for all the City fans who are still using abusive words in the comments, try and mature up, be adults. You don't have to say
ignore them. All I'm gonna say is we are not coming there to smash the City. We are not coming there to park the bus and come out of there with a draw. We're coming there to win. We don't care how we do it. We're coming there to win, right? So
Mikel Mourinho, I'll take Mikel Mourinho any day.
I'm going to go into this game looking to get a 1-goal lead, and we're going to see if we can try to hold on to it. City are going to come at us for the whole 90 minutes trying to attack us, and I don't think we're going to sit back and be vulnerable like a lot of people think. I do think we're going to hold on to the ball a little bit better, and I do think when we do hold on to the ball, we're going to play it wide through the channels. We're going to play it wide to Saka or Martinelli, and we're going to use our width a lot more than normal. And maybe when Saka or Martinelli have the ball, we're going to try to cross it in to see which runners we have from the midfield and with Trossard and Havertz. I think this is a game where Trossard possibly pops up with the winner. He's one of our most clinical players. And in a game where you need small margins and you need someone to step up with a goal, it's usually Trossard. So I'm going to go Trossard winner, 1-0 to the Arsenal, and we neutralize this amazing City attack. And that is no small feat. I acknowledge how difficult that is. Inter did it midweek. It gives me confidence that we can do it. Martin?
Well, we'll say I think City will win tomorrow. Like you said, I think City will go. I don't think City's tactics won't change. City's tactics don't change if we go to the Bernabeu. We go to win.
Doesn't that benefit us? You know what you're going to do?
Well, you might know what we're going to do, Gal, but again, no team's done it for 2 years.
And then
so if everyone knows what we're going to do, they're not doing it very well at the moment.
No team has beaten Man City at home in 2 years.
And then Martin, I wanted to say this. You mentioned how like even Real Madrid came and parked the bus, and Real Madrid are the biggest team in the world, and which is true. Arguably, probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest team in the world. But if you're going to head-to-head records with Real Madrid, you and Real Madrid head-to-head records, I don't know what your head-to-head is with them. But with Arsenal, the 3 times they faced them ever, they've not beat us before. So and
that's fine. Listen, that's fine. But yeah, we've not lost since November 2022. Do you know we're unbeaten in Europe in 3 years? Just throwing that one out as well. So I mean, sit here in years. We sit here in years.
But you do realize if you go to penalties and you lose, that's a loss.
Doesn't check the FIFA website, goes down as a draw.
Okay, so you still lose on.
It's on the FIFA website. Penalty shootouts are classed as a draw.
Okay, fair enough.
You lose the tie, but you lose the game. It's very weird how they word it on the FIFA, because penalty shootouts are not part of the competitive 90 odd minutes or the 120 minutes. It's very weird how they word it. It is. Honestly, check it out, because I didn't know that until I looked at it. Because I did a show, man, we've been beaten, and they went, technically you haven't.
And that's true, actually. Someone just put on the comment that I thought is interesting. I think Madrid did that because they thought that, if it's a two-tied, home and away, you would still come play them, or they'd come play you, whatever the case is. But this Champions League, you only play one team once. There's no home and away. So
see, listen, comments. Like some guys put you couldn't beat Inter, ha ha ha, and then someone will come back, you couldn't beat Atalanta. This is why the comments are the comments.
I get it. So it is what it is. Like for me, honestly, Atalanta. Anyway, that's a different ball game, man. Every team is different, and you just have to set up against each team the way you need to set up. I just know that this is one of the first times in like 2-3 years, like I said earlier in the stream, that I'm going to the Etihad and I'm literally not panicking. Like I'm not.
You weren't panicking last season. You said 3-1.
No, I don't know, but I did. Listen, I told you. I said we have what, you know what I said, and I'll say it again. I said we would win 3-1. We have what it takes to win 3-1, but can we do it? Is the question. It's because I knew that we still had question marks. Yeah, but this season, what have I said all season? No excuses for Mikel Arteta. No excuses for Arsenal. You have the same core of players who are one more year experienced, who have gone to that same Etihad, held them to a draw last season, and you know how to hold them to a draw. All you need to do now is add how to score a goal. You know how not to lose to them. All you need to do now is find out how to score a goal. If you want to get a dodgy penalty, get a dodgy penalty. I don't care. If it's the wrong referee's call and it gives us a goal, I'm taking it. If you go in there, I'm taking it. The bottom line
so
is,
by any means necessary is what Dio's saying.
Well, this is war. Any means necessary. But guys, I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. We've been going for 56 minutes.
This is what you've done.
Martin, I appreciate it. Dayo, I appreciate it. You guys really helped me bounce off each other for this stream. So we've gotten your prediction. Martin, you've gone with?
I'm going to go 2-1.
Arsenal. I'm going 1-0. Arsenal. You're going, Dayo?
1-0. I'm going 1-0. Arsenal.
People saying I'm a party pooper. Guys, unfortunately, I got a lot of things to do. I'm going to go watch the Joshua fight. I got to go eat some Popeyes. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Literally, this is going to be a carnage game. This game is going to be carnage. We win, amazing. We lose, the meltdowns. From the City side of things, Martin, one thing you have an advantage over us, since you've won 4 titles in a row, if you lose this game, you're not going to hear meltdowns from your fan base.
Yeah.
Okay. City win a game. City win a game and we have a meltdown. What are you on about?
No, bro. Basically, I'm saying the maturity of your fan base, because you've won so many trophies, they understand the league is not lost. And
Nah, it's having the opposite effects at the minute.
I think if
with some.
What?
Honestly, some City fans, some are, because we won. You know, when you get used to winning so much, and you get that shock of losing, you don't, because you got to understand that some City fans are only young, and it's not their fault. It's all they've ever known. When you've only ever known winning, when you lose, it's like a major shock into the system. With me, I've been a City fan for 40 odd years. You think I get shocked when we got beat by bloody Wickham? Jesus Christ, that is no meltdown by me, sunshine.
Bro, if we lose, all I know is that people are just going to come crucify us because they're so hungry to see Arsenal lose.
We drew 0-0 with Inter, and there was mass hysteria.
We drew 0-0 versus Atlanta, and people were having victory laps, saying we're sharing the Champions
People
League.
were talking like Inter Milan was some B-Tech Grimsby town that were rocking up to the Etihad. With some flip-flop manager in charge. I'm like, do you know who this is?
Martin, we have rival fans saying Arsenal don't entertain me. This is shit. Like our job is to entertain their fan base.
Do you know what it is? Your fan base and our fan base are in the complete opposite ends. So Arsenal fans are desperate to win because you've gone so long. You're starving. You are like that little boy, that little girl who's on the street going, "Please feed me." City fans are like in the Golden Tower at the moment, sat there waiting for it to all collapse, and they're both scared of what could happen on the other side. That's what I mean by the polar. Each fan base is scared of what could happen. It's seriously, it's mad. This is why when you look at Liverpool fans, they've got used to it, because it's what I've always said with Liverpool, and it wasn't a dig at Arsenal. It was, if you'd have won a couple of FA Cups, couple of League Cups, you get that winning feeling. You get that winning boost. You get that used to winning, going to finals, going to Wembley, all that sort of thing. You're not as starving anymore. Trust me now, if City don't win a league this season, you know, when we've just won 4 in a row and a treble and 100 points and formidables and God knows how many other records we've smashed, some City fans will say Pep out. This is how crazy it becomes
Yeah,
because
if
they
I
don't
hear
know
any
how to
City
deal with
fans,
it.
if I hear any City fans saying sack Pep, that's crazy. But you know what? We gotta go, and since we gotta go, Arteta's got something to say. Beep beep. The bus is coming, ladies and gentlemen. The bus is coming. You see the bus? The bus is gonna be
Yeah.
there. There you see the bus?
Just before you go, Arsenal have got a brand new sponsor tomorrow. Stagecoach buses of Manchester will be tattooed across the front of the Arsenal shirt. They're not even getting off the team bus. They're just going to ride it onto the pitch and stay there. They're not even getting off the bus.
Anyways, guys, we gotta wrap it up. You guys have a good one. Deo, Martin, Hamza, Patrick, everyone in the chat, especially the super chatter, Mark. Really do appreciate it. I'll get you on the next show, brother. And we're out of here, people. Call me a party pooper, but remember, when we win tomorrow or when we lose tomorrow, when we draw tomorrow, you can come here and you can let me know how you feel. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.